where it canceled everything out and here there was this one cloud and
I know. When you cancel everything out, that means there's nothing left.
Not necessarily.
That's what canceling does.
4 divided by 4 equals what?
One, because
A divided by A equals what?
No, A.
1.
Equals A.
1.
1A.
Any number divided by itself, be it real or imaginary, equals 1. 2x over 2x equals 1. It's a rule. No.
I wish I would have learned that rule before.
Well, I know it was in there.
You never know when you have to keep your one there or not.
Yeah. Anytime you have a number divided by itself,
I
is
have to
1.
look at that test today, but I'm not going to.
You want me to go through that? All right.
Did you forget about your... No, we just do that in personality.
What are the different ones?
Gave me like 3 book cards.
Yeah, I gave 2. One was keeper, one wasn't, basically, what that was. Yeah,
It's
because
not a
every one.
bad test, it just looks bad.
That could have been a lot worse. I tried to explain what each problem was.
Yeah, just this one. Why does it matter if you have a switch? You're doing the same thing. Either way you do it.
No, you were wrong.
The 3
No.
minus 3a, why is that wrong?
It wasn't right.
No,
3
it's
minus
not.
3a. We'll have that discussion in a minute. You did it wrong. Because 3 minus 3a, yes, but in this case it matters. And we'll talk about that after a while.
That makes me really mad.
Because the thing is, you needed a negative 3 and you didn't have one, essentially. Is what it was. So if you would have had negative 3 plus 3a, then it would have been fine. But your 3 was a positive and not a negative, and that's what's wrong, essentially. All right, lesson 6 in yes. Here we go. This is where we want to be.
Are you sure?
An increase from 17 to 24 is an increase of what percent? Hang on just a second before you answer. Hang on. I'll make it deal. Hang on. We'll do 16. Then you won't need your calculators for sure. All right. First step, Leah. The first step.
You go 24 minus 16.
Okay, perfect. What's that? 24 minus 16? 8. Got it, first try. All right. So 8 is the amount we're changing. All right, what do we do next?
8 divided by 16.
Why?
Original number.
Say what?
That's the original number.
Right, so you divide the difference by the original number. So we have 8 over 16. You can do equals percent over 100 if you wish. I don't care. What comes out the same? What's 8 divided by 16?
1, 0, 2.
No.
Wait.
All right, what's 8 times 100?
800.
Perfect. Divided by 16.
50.
50
Percent.
50% is our answer. So it's an increase of,
50%.
right. You have to make sure you do the subtraction first and then divide by the original number. It's very important. All right. In an equation, if you have addition, how do you get rid of it?
5 minus
You subtract, right?
1.
x equals 12. If you have multiplication, oopsie.
You divide.
Ooh, boy, I gave that one away. Yes, you divide. X equals 4. If you have division,
You multiply.
right, you multiply. Right? This is standard, so you just do the opposite. So you multiply by 4. X equals 16. If you have subtraction, right, you add. There's a few other operations we're going to run into. One of them today is thus. Right?
Thus,
If we have a square, we need to root it. All right? So the opposite of a square is a root, right? So you can say 4 squared. The opposite of 4 squared is the square root of 16, correct? That's how you do the opposite of a square. These two are opposites. So you see a square, you need to root it. You see a root, you need to square it. That's how you get rid of it.
Just all the time. From now on.
Generally speaking, yes. This is the basically in a situation like this. So say, for example, x squared equals 16. All right? So we're trying to find x. So what we do to find the opposite of x, or to x squared, is we root it. Now here again we have to root both sides, because that's the way life works.
So you just come out with
But in
x
this case, we'll have x because
equals
equals
4.
4. Precisely. It's perfect.
That's it.
That's the deal. Now, there's a catch and a caveat and all the things.
yeah, there always is.
You always do it this way. All right? But most numbers cannot be rooted evenly. All right? Say, for example, I have this number. X squared equals 17. You can't root 17. I mean, you can get an approximation.
Yeah.
Not really, make it like easy. So what you do, because we're cheating,
Oh, sounds good.
you're not going to come up with the exact real number.
Use round.
No, you don't even have to round. X, oops, you have to root both sides. I can't even write root something. You write X equals the square root of 17.
That is very wow.
Okay, I
She
like that.
simplified.
I like that.
All right.
I like that.
There's, generally speaking, there's only one of them today that are like that. No, 2.
That's 4.
Oh, no, the first one shows you how it says. So that one's even a liar.
Yeah.
But you see there how it leaves it at y equals the square root of 20? That's simplified. That's as simple as you have to get that one. The next one, for instance, though, is a little different. Leah, can you walk me through that one? Just come on up here and do it for me. X squared
Not
is
really.
36. All right, hang on, come up here.
I don't know.
All right, how do you get rid of a square?
Divide.
No. Right there. If you want to get rid of a square, you,
I don't know.
okay. If you were to look at this number right here, what would you call that?
Square root
Of
4.
the square root of 16 is,
Whatever.
right? So this is simplified. So here we have a square.
So it's just.
So you have to do the same things to both sides. Hang on. You're close. You have to write in your radicand, which is what that is called. All right, so you have to write in your radicand. So the first one, x squared, you can come pick that up and put it back. The first one is just that. Write it like this. X squared equals 36.
Are we supposed to write
Do the radicand over each one, x equals 6. This is what I want to see on your work.
Well, mine got kind of big.
Did it?
Yeah, just a little bit.
You count it
Chris.
out if we don't have the little thingy over the top.
I want you to have a little thingy over the top. It's the same principle as when you have, as when you do something like this, and you just don't multiply, you just write x equals 16. I don't like that. I want to see your numbers. You have to write everything out in order to make me happy.
Well, they don't have it.
Yes, they do.
Not on number 1A.
Richard?
Nothing. I
Okay.
just noticed something.
What did you notice? I find it interesting when you notice things.
Like, well, right now, I thought we were just doing stuff like B and C and A, and then throwing other stuff at it.
Ah, yes.
Shame on
But we're going to talk about that just now. All right? So the thing is, you just run an equation like normal, right? You can work with a root or a square the same as if it's a normal number. All right? So let's just take, for example, this. I don't want to cut short on the work you're going to do. So we're going to do one here from my part. N squared plus 9 equals 22. All right?
We do like
So first things first.
J squared.
Say what?
I don't ever do like J squared.
Not sure. Just because it is never get around to it. All right. So first things first is we take care of our subtraction and addition before we start messing with roots and things. Same as normal. Take care of your subtraction and addition, then your multiplication, and then you do your exponents, right? That's how it goes when you're solving an equation. When you're simplifying, you go the other direction. So, what do we do first?
Minus 9 on both sides.
Minus 9 on both sides, and that leaves us with n squared, don't lose your little 2 up here, n squared equals,
13.
is it?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, n squared equals 13. All right, so it's still not simplest form because we have our n squared, right?
There you go.
It's simple. You just use a regular n and you root it, we call it.
Am I ever trying to?
And then we write, can we find the root of 13?
No. Well, you
No.
can, but.
You can't.
So-
You can get an approximation. So because the squared and the root cancel each other out, now we're down to n equals the square root of 13.
Okay, so like, what about number 2A though?
2a.
Would you just go 18 times 2?
Okay, let's walk through these. Actually, I'm gonna do a different one. Hang on, I'm gonna do mine here. Because 3x squared equals 75. All right, so first things first.
So you
What
go
do we
5
have?
by 3 on both sides.
Right, this is multiplication. This little 3 over here, this is multiplication because on that side of the x. So that means we have to divide both sides by 3 first.
Yeah.
All right? So now we're down to x squared. Just bring this little sucker down.
Equal.
X squared equals what? What's 75 out of 3? Hey, you varmint. Have you ever counted quarters?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
What do we have?
25.
Yeah, there you go. Don't go using a calculator on 75 divided by 3. It's ridiculous.
That's just Monday morning victory.
I don't give a
rest on
I
slide.
can do math on Monday morning.
I
I
can.
can't do language arts, but I can do math. All right, so now we have a square and a number, or we have a square variable and a number.
So
How do we take care of it?
X
Leah,
equals 5.
what would we do with both sides?
Divide.
No,
Yeah.
it's not division.
Times.
What is it? What would we do with both sides?
Multiply.
No. What is this? What's the opposite of a
You
square?
have to do the little.
The opposite of a
ABC.
square is a root.
Okay, root it.
All right, we have to root it. Has to be rooted and rounded. All right. So we root both sides, and we get,
X equals 5.
yes, you have to root it. It's important. You have to know the terminologies. There's actually only, like, what, 6 operations?
Well, I'm concarded.
Well, Jackie, you're right. Men's lives depend on it!
Alright, do we have to open them?
Do men's lives really depend on square roots?
Yes, they do.
In what line of business?
I can think of several.
Like what?
Rocket science, I'm sure, has squares up to wazoo. Airplane wings are designed with square roots.
No, they're
Yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. You designed me an airplane wing once. Using math and not just dead reckoning.
As long as I don't fly the plane.
as long as you're in the cloud.
You don't do that easy. I will go over math first before I climb in.
I know, but how can it be that hard to make an airplane wing?
So what?
How can it be that hard to make an airplane?
I'm looking.
You don't have the time
All I have to do
or the
is
crayons to talk this
just
through.
get a knife and just whittle a wing or something.
It's not design. So you can get something that works generally pretty close. But if you're going to design a wing for a specific job, you have to use some specific math. And I know some of the math, but I do not know all of it.
Well, we ain't airmen, we just made, we ain't copy airplane designer, wing designers, so we can't do that.
Well, but here's the thing. Maybe you want to build trusses. Maybe you want to design them.
You know what?
There's good money in designing trusses.
What are
I know there is,
trusses?
but I
I
didn't
know
do
what
it.
trusses are. What are trusses? Those big
They're
things
like
that
the-
put on top of
On
buildings.
the top of a building, they look like such.
Yeah.
Put the roof
Oh,
up
yeah.
here.
Before, all my uncles
The
and
same
dad were
shit
into
like that.
chicken barns, they were into trusses, and now they're into mini barns. Like,
Anyway,
they just
there's good money in designing trusses, and you have to know how things work. And so you have to know how to
We're never
calculate
gonna be
weight
able to
loading,
design
and you have to
trusses
understand
like that.
squares, and you have to understand angles. And there's some very specific jobs where this stuff is handy. But not only that, not only if you never use
Well, I
these
don't think
things,
I
ever,
would
ever,
go
ever
make
again.
trusses.
Not only if you never ever use these things ever again, what we're doing is we're teaching you problem solving skills. And there's a certain set of patterns that you have to use in math to solve problems that you will use to your whole entire life. Whether you use square roots again or not, yes, which I assume you probably will because I think almost everyone has. But whether or not you use them again, what we're doing here is we're teaching you problem solving skills. And that's more important than math itself. But men's lives depend on it. All right.
Number 3.
3. We're not talking about 3 yet. We're not even done with 2. That it can be. Everybody understands the system. This is one more process. But make sure that the exponents, the rooting and exponents are the things you do last. Why don't we, is everybody done with number 2?
Yes.
Do all of number 2, and then we'll check those. Right here, right now.
Is C an approximation?
Big lesson.
I think it is.
No, it's not reduced. They leave it as a root. They leave it like this. They don't do anything, they just leave it as like, when I said x equals 17, because 17 doesn't come out evenly. Neither does that number. 72 doesn't come out evenly. So you just leave it under the root, or under the radical. All right, everybody's done with number 2?
No.
No?
Yep.
All right.
I'm looking in this house.
Well, no, just look there. Let me look. Oh! If you add all the degree angles of a triangle together, what do you get? 180. Doesn't matter what size or shape the triangle is in. Ah, you get surface area of cones tomorrow. Very excited.
I think I'm gonna go.
So not excited at all.
Equations. All right.
It's not funny. I don't see any humor in it.
I don't either.
I'm thrilled. Number 2A.
Does not look through it.
Your answer is x equals 3. B, your answer is x equals 7, and C, your answer is x equals the square root of 72.
78.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
because you add 20 to both, to
No,
52
I got
and
both of those
72.
wrong. I got both of those wrong.
How do you get them? What did you do with that?
I did everything right except I minus 20. Except
Yeah, it's on the other side of the equal sign, you have to do the opposite.
Mr.
Are they
Kid, how
counting
do you
over?
work number 3?
I want you to get them right before tomorrow when they're not. But I want to see your work. And how it
Oh,
comes
I
out.
know how I do.
Well, now I have everything right.
How do you give your answer to the nearest tenth
See
of
how
a
it
cent?
works.
Say again?
How do you give your answer to x equals the square root of the nearest tenth of a cent?
How do you
Here's
work
10 to the
that?
cent,
So you go out to the hundredth place.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
B, 2b, how do you do that?
2b. What's the first step? Oh, x times x. Here's the thing with 2b.
X squared.
You said it was that square root of 7, right?
Hang on. No, it wasn't the square root of 72. X times x equals what?
Yeah.
X squared.
Right. So that's the first step. And then you have plus 8 equals 57. So we have plus 8 on, what do we do with that? We have x squared equals, oh no, my bad. You were right.
Minus both sides.
You subtract 8 from both sides, right?
Yeah.
So now we have x squared equals
49.
49.
Okay.
And so now you just root both
Yeah,
sides,
see what it do.
and you should wind up with an answer.
Mr. Kid,
Yes.
how far out are we supposed to take number 3?
Yeah, how do you do
Like
that?
really far
Anyway.
out or not very far out? 'Cause I can see this going out a long way.
That's pretty easy.
It's easy, but how far do you take it
What's
out?
hard about it at all?
It's not hard.
Price per ounce.
Just
All
use
right.
a
So it's a division problem.
Oh, duh.
They do have calculators.
Per. The per means it's a division problem.
Okay, when you go 2.99 divided by 9.2 or something.
Now you're just throwing numbers around.
Yeah, you
Hang on, this is it.
I got
Price
0.325.
per ounce. Hang on. That doesn't make sense.
What is it 33
Oh, no, that's
cents
right.
per ounce for the big bag?
Say what?
33 cents per ounce for the big bag.
You have to run it from the nearest half cent. Half cent.
So 325. 0.325. That's what I got.
Okay, so you got 0.325.
So,
Yeah.
how do you, yeah, I got that.
How's that? This is 0.325 to a dollar, correct?
And then
So if we want to go to cents, we go like that.
Why would you
Is this
do
a
like
tenth
that?
of a cent, or is it a fifth, or a hundredth, or thousandths? Which
It's a
place is
tenth.
this?
100, or a tenth of a
It's a
cent.
10.
So this is the tenths place. I feel like I'm teaching second grade here. This is the tenths place here, right? This is the one tenth.
So, I mean,
No, I know what it is, but
Yeah, go
do
you
they
to
want
the
us to
tenth.
round it?
The tenth of
Round
an
that
ounce.
up.
It say-
it'll
What
be
does it say?
$30. What
It
the?
says,
Give your answer.
give your
to-
answer to the nearest tenth of a
So,
cent.
so do they want it the dollar sign point 32.5?
No, regular cents.
Oh, okay.
32.5 cents.
Oh.
All right.
Mr. Kemp, they should at
Yes,
least
Mr. Richard.
they should at least wait to give us surface area of a cone until we have surface area of a cylinder. Then, like I'm still getting those wrong.
Yeah. I'm a little offended that they're doing it so early, but
You were sure over the middle.
Yeah, you're cackling your evil laugh.
I'm trying to get you excited.
Well, it sure had the opposite effect.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be all discouraged and then you get
Yeah.
excited.
No. Yeah. I'm gonna say-
Perfect.
Number 14.
Number 14. What's the square root of 125?
5.
Just like that.
Okay, so you have this. You have this. The square root of 5 times 5 times 5, right?
This 125.
Right? No, I'm just saying. This is what we're dealing with. So you take these two, and you get,
5.
and then you get,
5 again, that.
that's what you do. If you have one too many, then you leave one inside.
So for number 10, is it 3 on the outside and 10 on the inside, or 10 on the outside and 3 on the inside?
Which one can't be simplified? What are the numbers you have?
2, 3, 3, and 5.
You have 2, 3, 3, 5, right? So remember, this is under a root sign yet.
Yeah, so I have
So
3 and 3.
here's 2 of them.
Yeah, I have those 2 on one.
So that means that you can put a 3 on the outside,
Okay, that's just what I
And
did.
10 on the inside.
right? That's all that's going on here, right? So 3 on the outside and a 10 on the inside, which one? All right,
Alright, this is
literal equations.
awful.
When they say literal, they don't mean literal.
They don't
They mean
literally
letters.
use-
Right. So basically,
Which is not comfortable. It looks awful, I just what he said.
I'm just laughing at the fact that they say literal, but they don't literally mean literal. Har.
That's on the
It means,
inside.
So that's on the inside, I can't wait for 2 days. I can't wait for 2 more days.
oh, you think you're excited about vacation, you haven't seen my
No.
resume.
My sisters.
All right, so,
Alex and Jonah are
I was
funny.
thinking that's your Thanksgiving decorations.
And there's one
and
couple
then left
over
it in here,
here.
I'm cool with that.
It's decorations. Oh, that orange box.
I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm decorated for Thanksgiving.
You also got this.
Oh, and that's, what do I have? What is that?
This thing back here.
Oh, the orange on the tank.
What? No, it's just an organ thing.
Just something to be thankful for.
I guess you
That's
can-
orange. My 3D printer's orange.
Your pencil is orange. Your highlighter.
Yeah, you got the pot, like.
Boy, I'm just sending it for Thanksgiving. Just wait till I start decorating for Christmas. I already am. See all the red? I got it going on. Green. I'm decorating for Christmas too. It's crazy.
When you don't need it.
Well, I mean, it's about as decorated as you'll ever see me get. All right. So, a literal equation.
Yeah.
This is, for example, a literal equation because it contains multiple letters. All right? Basically, the deal is a literal equation can be rearranged, right? So, it doesn't really matter what order it's in. We can use the properties of solving an equation to rearrange the letters. So say, for example, we wanted to solve this for diameter, right? So we want to figure out what the diameter, we have a circumference and we have pi, because pi is a constant, but we're looking for the diameter of a circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the diameter by itself. This is how solving literal equations works. So here's how we'll do that, all right? All we'll do is divide both sides by pi. All of a sudden, we have c over pi equals d. D is all by
So
itself.
I have a question.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
did you decide to divide it by pi?
Because this is multiplication. And the way you get rid of multiplication is you divide.
But for number why didn't you divide by d?
Because I'm trying to get d by myself.
Oh.
I'm trying to find d, I'm trying to get
For
d by
number
myself.
1, it would be c over c equals d.
Precisely. So we're searching for d.
C.
So what we do is we have to try to get d by itself, right? So we have c
equals d.
equals pd.
Over d.
We divide both sides by p. C over p equals d. It's a solved equation. We win another one.
We win.
Aren't you guys excited? All right, let's do another one. Because these are more fun.
So the next one's gonna be A over
More
L
fun than
equals
swimming kitties
W.
are gonna say. Say what?
Next one's A over.
Hang on, I want to do a little more teachy without telling you answer, okay?
No, I asked if that's what it was.
I know, I'm not telling you.
I did the part.
All right. I said I'm going to give you teachy before I give you answer. So, for example, if we want to solve, here's another literal equation I've run into. Area equals 1/2 BH. What's that? What's that formula for, by the way?
Area, yeah, area.
The EB I have there. Area of a what? Triangle, precisely. So, let's say, for example, I have the area, and I have the base, and I want to solve for the height, all right? So the height is what I want to keep in the cell. So first things first, hang on. Oh, this is number 5? I'll be dipped in tar.
Just leave it.
It's okay.
It's fine.
I'm sure you're all, yeah, okay. Answer, here we come.
Yeah.
All right. First things first. We got to get rid of this 1/2. It's in my way, all right? So, how do we do that? We divide both sides by 1/2, don't we?
Or 2.
Well, exactly. That's actually exactly what I was going for. So here's the thing. How should I explain this?
It says over here that it's the common denominator. It's the only denominator.
It's only denominator. Well, oh, that way. Oh, sure, why not? Why don't we do it that way? That's a fine way to do it. All right, there's multiple ways to do this. I would have solved it a little different way. I'm cool with this. All right, so yeah, we have a common denominator, so we just multiply the whole entire flipping thing by 2. Sure. So 2a equals bh. That's the first step,
2.
right? We're solving for h. So we have 2a equals bh, and now we want to get h by itself, so we
Divide
divide b on both sides. So we have, I can't even, hang on. So we have 2a over b equals h. There's no math.
Still hurts me.
I'm sorry. All right.
And on top of it, I'm probably gonna mark stuff wrong when you're right, when it's not capital.
Do the half, should capital.
Area should always be capitalized. I don't think I'll,
You should
Count
count
it
it
wrong.
wrong.
I think I'll count it wrong, but it should be capitalized. Area is always supposed to be capitalized. All right. I'll do one more.
Number 3.
What about like
Hang on.
8 and 9? Or 7
All right. Yeah, they did. But see, they have 2 numbers. They have an x and a y. I'll talk about. Maybe I'll do 2 more. I want to do this one first. Perimeter equals 2L plus 2W. And we want to solve this for W. Okay? So first things first, what do we do? First we subtract 2L on both sides. So the way we write this is P minus 2L equals 2W. Now what? Why?
There's 2 on this side. I don't know. That's if you were to say.
You're close.
That's to divide both,
We have to divide both sides by 2, but why?
to simplify.
Yes. Because we have 2 times W, we're trying to get W by itself, right? That's why. So we divide both sides by 2. Now we'll come up with P minus L. That's correct. Because this simplifies. Equals
W.
W.
Please leave.
It's not what they have. They have 2 letters.
They have it really complicated.
Equals W.
We got a thing here. No, that's right. So hang on.
perfectly.
Yeah, no, actually, they're right. I was wrong. I tried to simplify something that I should have tried to simplify, because there's nothing. It would be, you see, you have P over 2 minus L equals W. Or you can go P minus 2L. This is the way they have it. No, I tried to simplify too much.
Wait, why wouldn't that be, why doesn't the 2 cancel out the 2 by the L?
Well, that's what I was saying, is
Why doesn't it?
P over 2, well, it does.
Oh,
P over 2 minus,
yeah, that's how it should be, I think.
this is the most simple. But they have P minus 2L over 2, so this is more simple. All right, let's do number 7 as well.
What does 9 for 1?
Hang on. 6x plus 3y equals 9. All right. So we're trying to solve this equation. It says we write as 9 for y, but we solve this equation for y. Right? So that means we have to get y by itself. All right. So first things first, we have to get x away from it.
So you subtract 6x?
Subtract 6x from both sides. All right, so now we have 3y equals 9 minus 6x. And we're trying to get y by itself.
Divide it.
By what? Now with 3y. It's about 3. We're just trying to get y by itself, okay? So we'll divide this side by 3 as well. And we can simplify that. Again, 9 divided by 3, we get
3 minus 2x.
here's this. So that's number 7. Solve for y. Notice there's still another variable floating in there. We can't simplify that. It has 2 variables.
So you can actually solve that using.
You can't actually solve. You can't solve that unless you have an x or a y.
How are we going to learn how to finish that ever?
We'll learn how to graph that. No, it's actually not rare at all.
Graphing, it's not really how to finish that.
Okay, but the thing is, sometimes you can plug in any number and you just want to find out the relationship of this number to this number. Right? So they're always going to have a relationship. Anyway,
Okay, like the number
Worry
3,
about
then
that
how
another
to
day.
do that one.
number 3. Okay, want to solve that for b. Volume equals dh over 3. All right, want to solve it for b. First step first. What is this problem? What's going on here? This is division. So you have to multiply by 3.
3,
So you
So we have 3b equals bh. All right, so we're solving for what again? B. So what do we do?
divide by H.
Divide it.
Divide by h on both sides. So we get 3b over h equals b. Just moving letters around. It's fun. I do want you to do the extra practice today. Somebody said, Mr. Kent. Yeah, I ignored you.
Well, like, I have a lot of questions.
Number A and number 19B.
But on the book, you're going to have to explain the problem. Tell me the problem is at number 8.
So he wrote the numbers 1 to 28 on slips of paper, placed them in a hat, and then the probability that he'll pull out 3 1 over 20.
It was actually.
How many does he have?
1 to
20.
20.
How many options does he have?
20.
There's 20 options, so that's going to be our denominator. How many chances does he have of falling on the 3?
So it's just 1 over 20. Okay, yeah, whatever.
So on number 22, will that be a negative number?
I don't know what's in the book.
What's
Can you
the
get
problem?
your book?
No.
Like, it's a mental math problem.
Oh, that one. Did you do it twice?
Not yet. Trying to keep them in.
I did it like 3 times and I came out with the same answer every single time.
Number 19B,
That's a good start.
I got 1/63 of a gallon, and I don't think that's right.
Try using voices.
But it says write a fraction for B.
Hang on. Which number is it?
19B.
What?
This one's easy.
No. No, that wouldn't be wrong. How many ounces are in here?
128.
So if you were to write that as a fraction, that would mean 128 would be your denominator, correct?
Yeah.
128.
So you go 80 over 128, and
Okay.
then reduce
5.
to
Start with 2. Okay. So we're good?
40. 64,
Yeah.
20, and 32. I think that's the solution. No.
Quick interval, even numbers.
10 over 16.
10 and 16.
5 and 8.
So I had a few questions for the back. Like number 3B, I never really got that. I have 2 down, but
No.
I have 2 because
I hope you hear a minute.
that's an approximation, but so 33 cents. You could.
So what is near 10%? So 32.5.
So, but I'm not sure how, like, I just guessed. Well, I'm definitely guess, but. So, how would you actually set that up so you could do it in numbers? Because I'm pretty sure that would be right. Like, there's about 33 and there's about 6 sororities. I don't know.
How much is in the, how much per ounce are is in the bigger bag?
How much per
How
ounce?
much per ounce is the bigger bag?
This, 30,
Okay.
sorry,
So how much per ounce is the smaller bag?
69.
Okay. So how many times can you fit 32.5 into 69?
So it'd be 269, or actually, 69 divided by.
Does this have to be
Round
done
it in your
eventually?
That's because you have .69.
What?
You have .69 and 32.5.
It should be 0.125.
Yeah, so it should be the same. What do you say there, Leah?
Does this problem have to be done eventually?
Which one?
Number 20.
Is that the mental math one? No.
Does it have to
You
be?
can write it out if you have to.
This one. It says round to the nearest 10 cubic yards. And don't you just divide that by 3? The yards?
No. How many cubic feet are in a yard?
Cubic yards.
Hang on. So there's how many feet in a yard? This is 1 yard. So it's 3 feet,
So it'd be
right?
9.
So a square would be
A square?
a square yard.
Oh, that would be 6.
3 feet times 3 feet.
9. So
Now, hang on. We're talking cubic. So now we go like this. So we're at 3 feet by 3 feet by,
3 feet, so it's 27.
yeah.
So
Alright. Can I help you, Chrissy?
Sure.
I would love to.
That is number 4. I'm trying to find T. It's I equals TR.
Interest equals principal times rate times time. Try to solve for time, correct?
Yeah.
Alright. So we're solving it for time.
So can you go PR divided, can you do 2 minus that one?
You can. You can divide it with PR.
So I over PR equals T.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then number 6, I did it, but I'm not sure if I did it right. I have 8 plus 2 and equals Y.
Mm-hmm.
Number, yeah, it's number 8 I'm doing right now. I have, my answer's not doing it. That's a fraction thing. Yeah, me too.
Do you?
Is that right?
Kind of. Tell me what you did. You get 6x plus 3y is 9.
And then I
We're
subtracted
solving for what again?
x. And then I subtracted 3y on both sides.
Okay. So that leaves us with
6x equals then I divide by 6 on both sides. And that's the rest of that one.
okay. So we can divide it.
2, 9 and 6.
So I have
I divided
x-
by 2, so.
X equals 3 over 2 minus y
Okay, you don't have to actually split them up.
over 2. So 3y.
But your denominator does have to be 2. Yes.
So it's
So
gonna
you
be
just-
3. 3y over
3 minus 2y.
You have 3 minus y.
Oh.
3 minus y over 2. Because this cancels out. I mean, basically, yeah, so this 9, basically you just have to just simply divide everything by 3, I guess, in order to get, or which, not bad, divide everything by 3 in order to solve. Which is simply finding the lowest common denominator, whatever. But yeah, it's 3y minus 3 over 2.
There's no such thing as a 3 stacked fraction,
No, yes, there is.
but it doesn't apply here.
It's just massively inconvenient.
more time.
I don't know. I don't know. How cool is that?
Oh, they did go up with like zebras.
Full of zeros? Like what?
You know, just looking at some of these giant equations or whatever.
There's like a lot more letters and numbers.
Oh, there's one.
Like the-
Yeah, you'll have double stack fractions.
There are a lot of fractions.
There's stack fractions, where?
Page 443, 9.9.
440.
Complex rational expressions, they're called.
Oh, no, I meant, okay. But that's not what I meant. I meant like 31, like this.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's just
R,
technically the
Q,
same.
R.
See, the thing is,
It's just
That's
like,
like fractions.
The thing is-
dividing fractions. This is dividing.
yeah.
This is.
well, that's all this is. I mean, this is a 3-stack fraction. But the way you get rid of this is you multiply by 3, you
Bam.
get 1/2, and then you multiply by 2, and you get 1. Or whatever.
Why don't you multiply by 3? I know.
Well, that's on the other side.
No, I meant on like your 1/2.
Yeah, why don't you do 3 on 1/2
We
too?
do the equal sign.
These
I'm
letters
saying this
just
is like
get nice
functions.
and short back here.
I know, they're complicated. I'm gonna have to do some studying on some of those things.
Like the.
I mean, not saying I don't study some of this stuff.
Of a function,
Say what?
like lesson 12.
Oh, the function, the curved graphs? Aren't those fun? I love functions. I don't remember as much about them as I used to, but I'm actually
They
really
look
looking forward
awful.
really looking forward to going through it again. Specify the domain and tell whether or not it represents a function. You know, that sort of.
This last chapter is like really short. You think we'll get there? No.
Oh yeah, we're definitely in the end.
You serious?
Oh yeah, we're right on track. We're actually a little bit ahead of schedule.
Yeah, that's
Rats.
rats. Rats for us, not rats for you.
They're a little bit ahead of schedule too. I have some projects coming up that we're gonna have to do.
That's one of the last chapter.
The exponents are fractions.
Yes. Remember when I had that question about fractional exponents? I found it in this book. Oh, so excited.
We want to really look. Why are we
It
looking
was,
at
but
this?
see, it was an algebra pretest. And I didn't go through this algebra. I went through, it was a CLE algebra.
There were other people that said this is the worst algebra.
It's a really good algebra. It's a really good algebra.
Who said it? We said
People who didn't like algebras who said it. I love this algebra. Have not been,
I'm a little bit suspicious about it.
could not be happier with an algebra book.
No.
Mary did this.
Mary liked it.
That's just because she
did
did
accounting
accounting
the other
last
year.
year. Yeah. They all loved algebra last year.
I know.
Last year, everybody said, oh, I wish we could do
Like
algebra.
the year before when Ani and
Well, maybe we can
Chad did
calculus.
the accounting, they said it was easy, and then the ones that did it last year, oh, it's hard.
I liked it actually.
Did
It
you?
wasn't hard.
Are you gonna make us do accounting?
You just have to remember a bunch of
What's
stuff.
the plan?
Other than that,
Next year we do accounting.
it's
I
straightforward.
don't really want to.
No.
The other one felt great.
I'd rather
We
not.
could just- algebra
Algebra
two.
2, yeah.
No.
No, because we have an algebra one. So we could just skip algebra.
Accounting, I can't wait to see.
I'm really not excited about accounting at all.
Really.
It didn't sound that bad.
Oh, it sounded bad.
I'm
Last
looking
year,
forward to
it
forcing-
sounded bad,
I'm looking
but they
forward
were
to
being
forcing
very
it.
dramatic.
But if I
I
had
don't know
a
if
teacher
it's
too, it didn't
bad.
really help anything.
Oh, it was fun. I forgot how it was.
Like I said, I'm just really looking forward to forcing
No, we're
it.
talking about details.
Every day.
We're never gonna use this.
What?
Except for on the test. That's not really reward for us.
I know, like on and then, oh, it's so easy, they got most of it wrong.
We're never gonna use this. Except for
Yes, I remember that.
on the plus side, you guys are getting a pretty decent foundation for algebra in the math you're doing right
Dang.
Would you rather be doing algebra in eighth grade?
Yeah.
Almost.
No, you wouldn't.
That's what some people do, my cousins.
Maybe you would.
They do algebra in eighth grade, and then I don't know what they do for 12.
now. A really good pre-algebra is key.
What's key?
I'm just saying, like, the truth of the matter is this eighth grade math gets into algebra far enough that you're doing graphs already, which means that sliding into algebra should be.
What other kind of math you did? Is it like math or something? There's one that, no, SAC.
Sad.
That's what they call it, was SAC. That's what
Saxon?
SAC means. That's what
Saxon math is good. I've never really messed with it. Saxon.
Just the sound of it.
I know, does it sound, it doesn't sound good.
But I do really like this algebra. This is a really good algebra in my opinion.
Which one?
This algebra.
Mr. Kent, so this paragraph in reading was supposed to write,
Yes.
are we gonna, what are we getting graded on?
I don't know. I looked at most of them, but I didn't get to that this morning until this lesson.
It's like, did I grade it well or just can I scribble
I'm
something?
supposed to write it well, silly. So you're asking me how much you can fluff on it?
Yeah.
That's a note from me, dog.
The note from you, dog.
Oh, after I really got started and I still have this one.
There, you're already a period ahead. Don't freak out.
What? Do we have?
Also, did you notice,
Have you ever heard that quote? It was like, I think it was social media. It was like, I sure hate it when people don't know the difference between good and well. They're so dumb, and they spell there like the.
oh yeah, what they are?
They didn't do the right there.
Yeah.
And then someone responded and like there. Right way. It's okay.
Can you tell me number 20?
Probably. Tell me what point it is.
Solving.
Cool.
Yeah, I
What's
just
the
don't
equation?
really have to solve that.
Ah, no, it's not hard. We did it today.
It's hard.
Hang on. Give me the numerals.
X over 3
X over 3?
plus 2x over 9 plus 4x over 6 equals 8 plus x over 3. Yeah, you divide it all by 3. Yeah, you times it all by 3. 8. Right? 3 goes into all of them. And then you times it by 3. Times
I would multiply by 18. Oh yeah, it would have to be 8. What would it be? Because it's 6. You have to multiply everything by 18.
So confusing.
The whole flippin' shebang
So the first one's 6x.
multiplied by 18. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
4x. Let me see.
She carefully looks where she wrote down the answer.
No, I'm figuring it out right now. 104? 24.
124?
That should be right. I think so. It's 124.
Okay.
Plus 6x.
Well, it should be easy from here.
It's 144. Oh, 144. Oh, yeah. I'm doing the math wrong here. It's 144. It's 144 now. 146.
What is that number you put?
It's a 4
It's
then.
supposed to be a four.
It's 144.
Okay.
I can't even do it in my head.
So you have to put your other
22x equals 144 plus 6x.
So subtract your 6.
Yes. And that is gonna be 18x. 144.
So divide both by 18.
Okay. It's 9. No. No, it's not 9. Oh yeah, we're allowed to use our calculators.
We probably did something wrong there.
It's 8.
X equals 8.
X equals 9.
I had 16.
You can use your calculators on these sorts of
I
situations.
just forgot about this.
You can definitely feel free to do that.
Is number 15, 11 with 6 in the right hand?
I'm not yet.
That's
So
what I
I'm gonna
have.
start out.
Do you think so?
Where's my button?
What's the question? What's the,
What did I say number 15 is 726.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, factor that.
Well, I have a 2, a 3, and 2 11s.
Okay.
So
So you have
3,
2, 3, 11, 11.
Yeah.
So it would be that.
So you can wind basically,
11 would go on the outside and 6
11
would
on
go
the
on the
outside.
inside.
yes.
But then I'll make number 21 again. How do you know what you're supposed to times about 18 like you did on that
Well, you have to look for the lowest common denominator. And this
one? Well,
is
but on the
probably-
next one, it's 2, 4, and 3.
Those are your denominators?
No, 2 and 3 are
2 and 3?
Yeah.
Then you can use the,
6.
yeah, right, so you don't have to find the lowest common denominator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just find the lowest common denominator, and you use that, and multiply the whole thing by the lowest common denominator. Make sure you multiply the whole flipping thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You have to multiply it all by the lowest common denominator.
So this leaves a 1 right there. Okay.
Yes.
Why doesn't it leave a 1 here and a 1 there and then it needs to be 3?
Because they cancel each other out. Anytime you divide a number by itself, you get 1. Yes, sir.
I know.
Me too. Nobody else. Oh, I know.
On this one, that don't really, I don't know what to do, is it?
Okay. So when you're symbolizing something, so say for example, I wanted to, normally you wind up knowing you want to symbolize something and then picking your symbol, right? So I'm a little confused why they're asking you to do your symbol first and then asking what you're going to symbolize with it. But like, say like in the storybook that we have, right? So this whole storybook is kind of geared around symbolizing fear with the beastie, the unknown snaky beastie thing in the wilderness, right?
Is that what that book is centered around?
Well, it kind of, well, I mean, kind of. Right? So that's what that beastie is portraying, is fear. Right? So if you're using, for example, a new day or sunshine, like a sunrise possibly, to symbolize something, maybe you'd be symbolizing like a new beginning or a new perspective on life or something. Like all of a sudden you have light being shed on a subject. If you would use a stream, a mountain stream, to symbolize something, maybe you would use, maybe it would be symbolizing a day full of clear thought, something like that. Or so you wind up using solid things or things everybody can relate to in order to symbolize things that are a little more abstract.
How long does a paragraph have to be?
All of it,
No.
as long as it takes you to get your point across.
I had a little trouble getting my point across, but I think I kind of,
You got it?
yeah.
Good. That's what symbolism is, right? Generally speaking, you're not symbolizing another solid object. You're symbolizing an emotion, or you're symbolizing a moral, or you're symbolizing a new, like, kind of something more abstract. So you're using something solid to symbolize something abstract. You're using a rock to symbolize being steadfast and true in Christ. Using the ocean to symbolize power of God or something. Like, you wind up using things that are concrete to add emphasis to your
Are we gonna have to read those
abstract thing.
or what?
I think so, yeah. All right. It's time for recess.
Does it have to be something from this box?
Oh, Leah, you're it. If I'm not mistaken. A little girl that I know of.
And we should go to the
Say what?
Nothing in our box, is it?
You want to play which?
Well, I learned those things today.
It's really hard to not know you're supposed to do something when you never knew that thing existed.
Hmm?
No, it's fine. It's really
Let's play ball.
We should do this with the boys sometimes. We're just giving me a bunch of succulents. That would work too.
I think that was the point.
No, yes, life in this one. I love succulents.
I think they're weird.
Why? Cool, fun.
They're so
Richard, all you
like,
have to do
big
if you
and
really
small.
want one, I'll break off the leaf for you.
Can I break off like
Just like
17
big,
leaves?
break one off and stick it in a pot of dirt.
Yeah, and it grows. I did it with
I
a
just
string of
yanked
pearls
this off
and
and
dyed
it
it.
made it water in
You don't even need to water
I'm
this.
comparing
It's barely.
there. Yeah, put water.
I water mine every week.
Right now I have a couple that are just in water,
You
Oh, yeah.
put them in water.
just so their roots can grow. They don't really have.
I always just stick them in dirt and they grow. Are you comparing answers?
Yeah.
Did any of us have them wrong?
No.
Did you get? Are you in the fraction? I can't remember how to do this stuff.
just went so nice.
Xander's
going berserk out there.
Did you do that with your? That's cool.
I'm sick tomorrow, you guys.
It's not even straight.
What's
through.
not
I'm
being
not
that
even
in your
pretty
first
sure what it
recess?
is.
What, volleyball?
Yes, I'm not in your recess.
Always a third. I'm just not.
I didn't want to play at the room in the first place, but then they had me go.
There it is. Have a banana.
I'm not mad at him again. He reached way out in the middle of the square and caught a ball.
Mr. Walter.
Yeah, and guess who I'm not even next to ever in fourth grade.
Poor Chris.
No, we should take
Poor
one
Mr. Walter. That's what I was gonna say.
You can erase scrap by pounding your hands around. Christy, what does a path symbolize? Your spiritual
You
life.
can look back on the path, and that's what Barney was
Where is it? University.
What will my paragraph describe?
And there was a rock. The terminal had back in first grade. That spanking really hurt.
all those questions that came from that, you had to deal with.
So much emotion.
My life is only emotional at the times where it hurt. Under career.
My dad used to say it's breakfast of champions.
What?
How did you get
Did your dad used to actually say all that stuff?
Sometimes.
No.
What ones are you talking about?
I
He did say the breakfast of champions.
I was talking about the rock one too.
Hmm?
About when I used to throw a rock in the
Mhm.
little pack.
That was one of the things my dad would say.
What would you say?
Are there
Throw a
enough
rock
in
into a
there
pack
for
of
us?
dogs and the one who barks is
I
the one who
doubt
got
it.
hit, the one who got hit.
Are we done or?
Where would he get that?
Is there like one left?
What are you gonna talk about?
I would feel sad when I go Kit Kats, but here they're easy, so I don't actually feel sad. You like Kit Kats better than Reese's? Like by 15 times.
I would do Reese's over Kit Kats, but a small margin.
I would do
Snickers?
I love
I like Snickers.
I like Milky
It's
Way.
not Snickers. I get sick of after.
It's like a mix of.
Milky Way is weird.
I like Snickers.
Milky Way is weird. Sometimes he's Snickers and sometimes he isn't.
So this paragraph. we
So,
have-
Mr. Kent, it says history. Are we doing history?
Left history.
We're doing what now?
What happens after recess on Monday?
You work on reading until
Yes.
Mr. Kent. Okay.
You're right, first try. So yes, that troublesome paragraph that we had.
We skip it.
No. Would be the short answer.
It's a long answer. Actually, I don't hear it.
You know what TLDR means? TLDR. You'll see this sometimes in a long.
Tell you
long
later?
thread. No, like a long Reddit thread or a long email discussion of irrelevant things. Hmm? No, it means too long didn't read.
Too long.
That's all it means.
So if we write a paragraph long enough, you won't even
like,
read it.
No.
It can't send it because it's
No.
too long and
It's
it's
like basically it's a snarky thing. Like if somebody sends you, like I
Okay.
shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. So I have a sister who had an argument with, and she sent me a WhatsApp. She didn't bother to voice record, and then I could just have it sitting on the back sheet. I don't know how she typed it all out, but she had like it was length of WhatsApp.
What were you
I
guys
mean,
fighting?
Like, just like, you can scroll for hours.
well, that's something that's a discussion for another day. But and maybe not even a discussion for here. Say,
Grandma Mary does stuff like that.
Yeah, no.
Maybe not like
But
this
basically-
long, but like
So
somewhere in
it's
this
like,
range.
it's like you scan over it, and then you're like, okay, so what's she trying to say exactly? Like you want these condensed. Like I want 2 sentences. Like can we condense this? And most of the time, you can condense it into about 2 sentences.
Did you read the whole thing?
Yes, I did.
Was it very informative or not at all?
Well, I knew how she felt.
Oh.
So some of these reading lessons I can just write,
TLDR,
Too long.
Unfortunately, not something.
Maybe do that for literature?
yeah, just like one of these reading chores too long to read.
Anyway, but it's a snarky thing to do. Like if somebody writes a massive paragraph, you're like, so what's the TLDR? So you just give them short sentences.
That's why the voice message is handy.
Can you turn up on one?
Yeah, but when you
Yeah.
Yeah, but when
just
you're
like-
trying to snoop on one's phone, she'll hear you if you do
I
that.
So you can hold it to your ear.
Yeah, that works too. Like,
One of these like, who are you talking to?
Always do voice message.
That's what mom. The other thing you're trying to find a message and it's in a voice message. You have to listen to like
Yeah.
15 on one before you get to their one.
You can't skim a voice message.
I know. It's not
You
good
can
at all.
really don't.
And mom will usually catch you before it's done
I did
recording.
That's the only thing.
I don't remember who it was, but she did it if she made it go to her cash, she didn't understand her.
Yeah, you can actually.
Yeah, you can
I love when they laugh and when the voice message. It's hilarious.
All right. Number 1. This is for lesson 12, page 38. Is contour, an outline or shape. Number 2, pauper, a very poor person. 3, A is offended, B, revenge, C, greater, D, enemies. 4A, offended, B, disgust, C, forgive, D, friendship. So on and so forth. 5. You grew up on a farm in Norway.
I have rural memory.
Rural Norway. You also have that. 6. They depict peasant life. Rural just basically means out of the city. Just wondering about that. 7. He thought it would ruin the barley crop. 8. He saved the barley by lighting a fire so the heat would keep back the frost.
I said it, keep burning it.
I have smoke drying. It said smoke drying.
He didn't burn the crop.
I know, but he burned like wood and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was creating smoke. Basically, the deal was,
It said smoke drying in there.
yeah, so the smoke drying thing, yeah, basically, the heat is not keeping back the frost. Just simple. There's not enough heat to keep back the frost there. Mostly what he's doing is the smoke, I don't know where they came up with that thing, but it's misinformation. The smoke basically adds density to the water, so it freezes at a lower temperature.
A lower temperature? Or a higher temperature?
It freezes at a lower temperature, so that it stuff lamb and doesn't freeze as quickly. Anyway, but whatever. I don't really care what you have for 8, because then we're another answer now. 9. He thought it would be a shame to waste a beautiful grain. 10. 8.
For 9, I have always an old man with a little from them.
Hey. What was the answer to that again?
They have an example. He thought it would be a shame to waste the beautiful grain. That's what changed his mind.
Well, I thought he went over and was gonna just take some.
We're just gonna let it.
He's just gonna leave it. You know,
Oh.
you don't
I
let
had
it
he
freeze.
thought all the night before.
or not very rich.
Okay. I don't know what that.
I have all this crop costed a lot of money and time.
That's a weird thing. Number 10, A, B, and C.
Seriously?
Okay, Mr. Kent,
Oh, yes.
they say frost is mentioned more than once. I'm pretty sure they mentioned like dogs or trees and wood and fire more than once. Okay, like that makes no sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously, like,
And
where's-
no, like,
the people's names are mentioned more than once.
I mean, like, whatever. I don't have B.
Yeah.
Reading and
I only have A and C.
Just because it says it more than once does not mean it's
I'll
the
let
same.
you go with that one. I see your reasoning, but I understand it. I can look at that. He sits there with a smug grin on his face.
What?
Feel
You
like
said
telling
B,
me.
we don't have to count B real quick.
If you don't have B, circle one. 11, it was ruining their friendship.
I have they weren't friends anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't made them renew their friendship.
That's interesting. So they're talking symbolically, but yeah, I can understand what's going on there. Okay. 12 is B. 13A, 14C, 15D. 16. So an idiom is So if he was to use literal language when he says they should be in clover, he should have said something like they should be living in luxury or they should be plenty rich by now or whatever. So that's using literal language.
I have they were in cow luxury and were in a comfortable place.
I haven't did very well.
Mm-hmm. Oh. 17. Basically, the bailiff could afford to treat them well, something like that.
I have been able to be rich.
Ooh, we have
I hate
a recipe in a book.
Where?
Norwegian cinnamon thumbs.
Where are you at?
Where are you at?
Norwegian cinnamon buns.
In my book, not your book.
I don't make some.
What did it take?
Sugar, butter, flour, vanilla,
That's it.
and cinnamon.
That
It
sounds like.
good.
Sounds
That
like, yeah,
sounds
that
really
is-
good. Should we make
Most
some?
Norwegian desserts they tend to be a little, but they're not super overpoweringly rich. I like them.
Should we make some? I might like them too because of the. Tell Ren to bring the ingredients and we'll make.
Yeah.
Better yet, let us to bring.
Beat the sugar.
Well, you go, Mike.
Beat the sugar and butter and then add flour and vanilla. Roll the dough into long skinny ropes and cut them diagonally into 2-inch pieces.
It would be so yummy.
Activity.
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe
Lunch recess.
depending on how our day goes.
Okay, everyone get your
We'll
work
see.
done.
Whether
And
you
you
go
got
back
the
or
ingredients.
not.
We'll see. Maybe if I just would like, think ahead and do that. Which day? We'll do it tomorrow. Just gonna go ahead and do it tomorrow. That'd be fun. All right, 16, no, 17 I did as well. 18. How do you state the question as a proposition? Leah?
Acts of kindness restore broken relationships.
Good. Providing evidence from the story to support that proposition, Chris?
I have signed with the Bible, which says artists will be written.
Yep. And what was the result of that?
Me?
Yeah.
To be nice, you can restore friendship.
No, but the result of that. So basically, we're supporting the proposition here. So you just say that that was the act of kindness, but you didn't give an example for the for how the kindness how it restored a broken relationship. So you just gave an act of kindness, not the restored relationship. Just write that in. Get this.
So like what you already did.
That basically when Simon saved all those crops, we became friends again. That's what they're looking for. Cody, C, explain the evidence. Explain.
One times act can make a whole lot of difference.
I have they would.
After a relationship has been broken.
I have an act of kindness and can restore a broken relationship.
For C?
Yeah, and for A. Well, I have two answers for C because I really did not understand what they're trying to get at. So
It says explain what the evidence helps you understand.
about the proposition,
About the
that it
proposition.
usually works. That's what I have down. But then I also have down an act of kindness can restore a broken relationship, just because, you know.
Well, that's actually roughly what they have, so. They did a few more words. All right, 19, Mary Sue Yoder. What a solid name that is. Exactly. 20. What might a person be hunger for otherwise? Give me one example. You have probably one example.
Did it have to be food?
No, something other than food.
Oh.
What besides food?
People can be hungry for money.
It can be. What do you have?
Obviously.
Money, money, money. Everybody, money, money, money. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
You got money, Chris?
No, actually, I don't
I
have
have friends, but
I have.
I'm totally in the money thing.
Yeah, I do like that money thing.
Yeah,
I have a nice gun too.
I have
Right now, I'm hungry for answers.
I have love, glory, and power.
Whoa.
21.
I'm talking about power.
All right, gentlemen and lady. 21. Staccato sounds are brief, clipped and brief. So some things I could produce that sound. Give me one example of what you have.
Rain.
Rain, clock, clock.
Like the ticking.
Yep, staccato.
I have a woodpecker.
A woodpecker. Oh, that's true.
Motor.
If your motor's making a staccato sound.
You're taking it.
Some do.
Like, isn't there a break between each sound?
Usually there's a sharp break between each sound, and the motor is hard to detect. I already get that. I mean, I've heard motors that works, but it always
Our
winds up
coffee maker.
Old
being
Yesterday
piston,
morning.
piston slap valve train noise, like my Jeep Commander makes. There's a ticking.
Yeah.
I think it's a lifter.
It's a time bomb.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
your Jeep Commander. a motor.
Mr. Payne, it's a time bomb.
Also, I'm not concerned about that engine in general. But sure can't pump it. Well, I
For-
overheated it.
For number 22 with that.
22. A courageous person is undaunted by difficulties. Some things that seem daunting to you. Basically,
I have a reading list.
Yeah, I
I have schoolwork in general.
I have this reading curriculum.
There you go. You
I have
guys
to-
come and face your fears every day. Good job.
We all have the
We
same
must be
idea.
so brave.
I am such brave people.
I am feeling courageous.
All right. 23. They have some other examples. They have things like an empty barrel or a gong.
I have a piece of
I have a drum because
I have
that's
steel
all I
pen.
can think of.
Cool. Remember the verse, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and from, now from the Father of lights, with whom is no variance, nor shadow of turning. Figure 2 points for each one.
For once, I got a decent grade.
96. I have a 98. It's not bad.
Okay.
And we can
How
help
come
you
we're
out.
down for us right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
What happened to this paragraph?
Well, literature is creative writing, so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can you please get that and just do algebra because she's full of propositions.
Tell them.
Prepositions are not words wearing sentences with.
Or something like that.
I'm just not sure about this literature lesson. I don't think it needs checked either. I don't think we can check that.
So Mr. Kent, I have a proposition for you right now. 4 equals 2a plus 4 times 1/2, that's right. Right.
That's right.
I don't know the answer. I don't memorize the answer key.
Are you
Yeah.
sure X is 9?
Minus y.
Alright.
That's awesome.
36.
So basically, we're done for the day, so. And.
Hold off on the creative writing. I might just,
Richard's taking it.
Say no, because you do it every week.
I was thinking I might just use this for this week.
What is it? Write a story in a
Alright,
story.
let's,
Oh my.
Oh.
let's check.
Does it have to be true?
I don't want it to check.
I do want to check.
I'm scared.
Does that, no, whatever it's called, creative writing, does that have to be true? The story.
We're not gonna worry about the creative writing.
I'm just scared of this one.
Alright, let's just go ahead and check it though. Just to
You
get it
gotta
over
count
with.
any wrong?
What?
Do I have to count any wrong? Is it
No,
worth
I
it?
would say don't count anything wrong, for sure don't. Complete waste of time.
I know it is. It's a complete waste of ink.
Obviously, you're counting the wrong, getting wrong, Lisa.
It's a complete
That's
waste.
the whole point of checking, otherwise we wouldn't check at all.
You don't trust us to get anything.
I know.
So if it was useless, we wouldn't do it.
It is useless.
Alright, if
It's
it
just
were
a time
useless.
waster.
Oh, I got, 3.
No, it's not.
There's a trust issue. Can I ask you number 3 quick?
I said you made a joke, that's all I have.
It says, it is during ordeals like this that we took distracted from the moment that in the secret memory lay bare. Describe what happened when Nate saved his little group from falling off a cliff. I have this had survived a near-death experience together and that moving closer and more easily.
I actually made him jokes.
I really don't want to do that. I really don't know for that.
He's watching someone in him.
Hey, just-
But it's the kid. We need you. Oh, but he is.
I hear you.
I'm gonna stay on the head with the coloring.
Yeah.
Well,
Which means he's not gonna win.
Well, you never know.
What that called?
I'll put one back here.
he just lost.
Would you look at that?
It's a sleeping
No, I
bag.
want to get used to that.
I'm totally
I don't
over
have
that
to use
though. I wish I could do that right now, but
I don't have to get used to this. Richard, I don't like it.
Is it time for class?
No. I don't like it.
I don't like.
I remember it.
I'm totally into taking minutes though. Like that's totally.
Chris, I remember it.
I did that.
You started
So is
spending
that
minutes.
just not allowed, or I just
just
have to
don't.
do my Bible memory?
I just don't like it at all, in general. Bad. It's bad medicine. All right, number 3.
I could skip it.
Describe what happened when Mace saved his little group from falling off a cliff.
They all came. Can we just, and grateful. I don't know when through. I have, they had survived a near-death experience together and not made them closer and more equal.
Yeah, they were pretty just straightforward about that and just described the situation that they were in. But like just all they did was describe. They said the last porter lost his footing, threatening to hold 6 climbers to destruction. Nace directed some of them to throw themselves over the opposite side of the ledge to counterbalance the fall.
Oh, yeah, I just saw it.
That's all they had. Don't know if they're wrong, because I appreciate your answer, actually.
I had you made them jump. Well, he did make them jump.
But why?
I don't know what. You just told me.
I just told you. Basically, they were on a ridge like this, it was going up, it was on a ridge. Guys fell off this side, so he told the other guys to jump off that side and balance them out. That's all.
Otherwise, they all would have gone.
Otherwise, they all would have gone.
Bam.
Who do down that side? Very inconvenient.
Always. Down. You go.
Sledding is only fun when you're out. Trust me, I know. I've been sledding an 80,000-pound machine. Wouldn't recommend that.
You weren't trying it?
No.
Oh,
Completely unintentional.
yeah, that's a bummer.
What was considered intentional?
Sledding in a 380,000-pound machine.
Oh, my.
Sledding into it?
Sledding in it.
In it.
Not driving it.
That sounds like fun.
That doesn't
Sledding,
sound
so
like
if you're inside of it, it's inside
My
a
brother
machine.
rolled that machine later, and
But you're alive.
there's no good reason that he's alive.
Did he just wreck it?
Oh, I just banged up the cab. But so with the glass that we had is Lexon, is plastic glass or whatever. It's supposed like you can drop a 2,000-pound log on it and it'll bounce off. When he flopped the thing over, it landed on a stump, and that glass broke. A piece of it gashed him here, and the stump that he landed on went like broke his seat, I think, and he walked away without anything other than that cut.
So did they get better glass? Anything?
No, there's nothing. It was just you couldn't get any better than that.
Two pins of it.
Right.
Or three.
Yeah.
Or four.
It's not really gonna help. In the end, it just would have squished him a little different.
Mr. Quinn, do you have a screwdriver? More screwdrivers.
Not currently. All right. So number one, each person adds his strengths to the group. Few men possess all gifts and fields of understanding. Number two, Nace was older and more experienced. Number three, the last porter lost his footing, threatening to pull the 6 climbers to destruction. Nace directed some of them to throw themselves over the opposite side of the ridge and cover his fall. Number four, Nace demonstrated quick, clear thinking and calmness, composure, and command. Number five,
Patient. He was patient, smart, and steady.
I can work with that. Number five, Nace knew it was unsafe.
I'm ready for the choice now. But because you knew it wasn't safe.
6, Osborne accused Nace of not having enough energy and not wanting Osborne to reach the top and gain glory. Osborne's reasoning. Number 7, Nace said that he had struggled a long time trying to gain the victory, and that maybe he'd reach it this time and maybe not. But he's not willing to foolishly risk his life to gain it. Something like that. Number 8, Osborne. Number 9, Nace. Number 10. Though Osborne reached the top, he did not announce to the world with respect to Nace's death. By putting Nace's axe at the top, Osborne honored him and his contributions to the expedition. 11A, if you express yourself, people don't have to guess what you're thinking. It often helps to talk about different methods. Openness and honesty are vital to strong friendships. Something down the line, summarized can be fine. TLDR on that. B, how can holding your thoughts inside be an advantage? By keeping your thoughts, you won't offend others. You won't need to regret rash words later. Not saying what you think can keep you out of trouble. There is a balance. I haven't found it. I almost always say too much. 12, the Indian topographical survey. 13, ending adds interest by compelling the reader to think. It skillfully leads the reader to the conclusion. 14, Nace. 15, Nace. 16, Nace. 17, Nace. 18, Osborne. 19, Osborne. 20, Osborne. 21, Nace. 22, S. 23, T. 24, U. 25, X. 26, Y. 27, R. 28, O. 29, Z. 30, Q. 31, P. 32, W. 33, B. 34, James Ramsey Ullman.
I just grabbed how to answer.
What's
That's
that?
what I did. I had the answer to start with passion.
Where?
Number 7.
Yeah. You can never tell whether they want something generalized or
Well,
not.
I wrote, he told her not to be a fool in a tactful way.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Everybody got 100?
No.
What do you get?
One.
97. Don't worry about it now.
Mr. Kent,
Yes, sir.
are we gonna take apart more stuff?
What?
Are we gonna take apart more stuff?
I hope so.
I get all the carburetors.
Not necessarily.
Why?
They look so cool to take apart.
They are cool. They're the coolest thing about them. They're basically magic. First of all.
No, we need help on algebra.
Say what?
No, we need help on algebra.
Yes, I will help you. Look, in every carburetor, there's something called a venturi. And this is a simple basically this is the way they take the gas mixed with the air. So you'll see this in that carburetor too. Basically here where the carburetor narrows, where the air is coming into it, there's a gas line coming up like this. And when the air comes through like this, it has to go through here. And because it constricts it, it increases its velocity, which lowers its pressure. It's the same principle that makes an airplane go up. All right? When it does that, it sucks gas into here and sprays it into the cylinder of the engine.
What does this thing do? The thing I'm twisting right now.
It's probably the throttle.
Right here, it has this. If you twist that, it'll open up.
So that adjusts how much air you get in. So those little holes in it, that's where the gas comes in. And this allows either air or else.
So I took
Yeah, that's the throttle.
I took that side off, but I took out the screws on this one. Why doesn't that come off? There it goes.
Ben,
Turn it off.
not yet. These ladies, they're elder. And then we have to.
So,
It's
I
like
have an
you
answer
need
for
her-
all of these, but they,
I need help on 34 to 39.
Okay, which one specifically? 34 through 39?
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I'm,
know.
I'm,
I did.
I'm
Okay.
34 of A times B. So.
Is that all you have?
What does it start out with?
Okay.
34 is what? How does it start?
P equals everywhere.
P equals F, lowercase f?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all.
All right, and
They're all big.
they're all capital?
That's better.
Well, it kind of does a little bit. All right, so you're solving for F. All right, so what is this? This is
Fraction and divide.
it's division. So the way you get rid of it is you multiply. So you just multiply both sides by
Oh, A.
A.
So it's A.
Because you're solving for F, right? Right. So we just have AP equals F.
No, almost had it right.
You just remember that you don't need multiplication.
I just times F instead of A.
What? Oh, you want times F? You always have to multiply times by 1 on the bottom. If you were solving for A, you would have to multiply the whole thing by the denominator, right? So then you would wind up with AP equals,
Yeah.
I mean, A, my bad. We're solving for it, yeah. Hang on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're solving, if we're solving for A,
No.
And then you would put the P under the
then
F.
we would draw like P.
Yeah, and then you
A equals F over P. So that's how we solve that. So basically, we have to work in circles and then do back toward 1B. All right. Was there another question?
all of them, 35.
We don't have time for all of this now. 35.
35, I have,
What's the question? We'll start with
M equals.
ME.
Yeah.
capital.
They're all capital.
Me equals PE plus KE.
PEK
Plus.
plus K.
Yeah.
K E.
All right. So the one thing we have here is what?
We're gonna
What are we solving for?
PE.
We're solving for PE.
So subtract KE.
Subtract which?
KE.
just write ME minus A equals P.
Okay, so here's the thing, is E minus E is what?
It's one. No, it's just nothing.
It's nothing, but that's where we get a row.
No, because
1
something-
minus 1. This is
that's
subtraction.
different.
1 minus 1 is what?
Zero.
So E minus E,
Zero.
It's different than 1 over 1.
right, 1 over 1 is 1. All right, so in this case, we would write this as
And minus
I think that's right. Of course, the other way you could write this is, you'd write ME minus KE, but the thing is, we can still, because this is multiplication, like you factor this out as E M minus K. And maybe this is what they're after, is a factor, equals PE.
So what do you want to try?
Please not blank one, that's the correct number. Because I can't figure it. Because I'm gonna start having to use the distributive property. I'll just do it.
We should just rewrite this into the drawing.
That's the best way they want. The problem is then,
There's a description. Then you want to go.
Then your E and your M would be, then your E and your M and your E and your K would be switched. And that wouldn't be good.
so what?
When you actually solve that all out, it'd be E M instead of M, and it'd be E M.
It doesn't matter.
That'd be bad.
Why isn't it PM? Because it's not alphabetical order.
It doesn't really matter that much. I mean, whatever. When you're actually working with it, the alphabetical order is simply just to keep things.
That's what I had in the video.
That's what you have?
But I didn't do it.
I'm trying to decide whether they actually want you to put it in the distributive property or not.
That's what I have.
Which number is that? 40?
35.
35. Yeah, they just went ME minus KE equals PE. I was trying to decide. I overcomplicated it. They just subtracted that KE from each side. I like the distributive property better.
How do you do 36, Mr. Kane? Can you quickly do that one?
And 30.
Sure. We can do 36. We can do one or the other. We don't have time to do both.
I don't care, I can probably.
We're gonna do 36, we could have to do the last three then.
36.
And you help on with the order.
Okay. So 36, we have 1/2 x.
Plus 1 equals
Alright, first things first.
so y.
Yeah.
Well,
I tried it.
No. You have to solve the x.
so divide.
But that's how they want you to get rid of the 1/2. Multiply everything by 2.
Divide 2y.
Subtract 2y. This is bad. I'm just subtract to get it. Move the rule away. Alright. Language. Yes. Language. Don't you hate it in the morning? You think everything's going well and got everything all organized, and then you don't. That'd be my morning. I don't know. It was just
I thought I had everything nailed down, and then, well, here we are.
What?
Feels like everything's going right over. Mm-hmm.
Spelling test tomorrow. If you want.
I don't appreciate that.
Well, what do you want?
I didn't want to close to that.
Okay. Well, shouldn't have blindsided you. Say what?
It's Monday.
There, there. Have a good man. All right. What's a non-essential phrase?
Non-essential. It doesn't have anything to do with the outcome of the sentence.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
And what happens?
It's not needed in a sentence.
Right. Non-essential means it's not necessary, right? So, if anybody has a non-essential $1,000, I'll take it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, not greedy or anything. We'll work with that. So, basically, like a tire in a car is not non-essential, generally speaking. The motor is not non-essential. But a windshield is kind of non-essential. You can do by without it. And so is a heater. Trust me, I know.
You can do it by without.
It's not fun, but you can do it. And also ain't got no heater. Also ain't got no radiator. And also ain't got no reverse, and I'm glad we won the war. Anyway,
What does it have a reverse?
there was this comedian who was talking about a Volkswagen body. And he just got one, he never had one, never run one before. And he had to drive from Florida to Georgia, and it was cold because it was sunny away. And he'd come over on a boat, and then so he had to go to the port to get it. Anyway, so he acquired the thing, and they started driving it back to Georgia, and he ran into a series of problems. One is that when they went to check the fluid in the radiator, there wasn't any.
There wasn't any rain.
There's no radiator in the bug. You can go look at mine, you're not gonna find one. Also, they couldn't find the heater. American cars, the heater's on the dash, and all the controls are up there on the bug, it's down between the seats. And the other thing is, they couldn't find the reverse. On the bug, you have to push the gear shift lever down and to the left and back in order to shift it to reverse. And he didn't realize that American cars, you just move into reverse, and German car, you have to push it down. Anyway, he got home. He told the way. No, he got stopped by a policeman who said that the little tag had fallen off the back of his car. And he said, well, no, he said, there ain't no tag on the back of whatever this is you were driving. And he said, well, mister, it also ain't got no radiator. And it also ain't got no heater. And it also ain't got no reverse, and I'm glad we won the war. Anyway, side note. Also, commas change the meaning of sentences where they can, such as let's eat grandma or let's eat grandma. You know what I'm saying? So, we went number 7, I think we have to check. Leah's not with us. She with it in general. Nobody knows. It's kind of a toss-up.
I am.
13. Page 13. Lesson 4. Number 7. Is the first one to check, I think. Oh, wait. Both 3 and 4 have no commas in them, just so you know. Number 7, after a block, there's a comma. Number 8. Some girls like to talk. These girls don't get any work done. What he wrote and what they have. If you have something that means the same, where the girls that like to talk can get work done. Number 9, all girls like to talk and rarely get any work done, is what the meaning of that sentence is.
I have them two switched around. I have one. You have. I have them switched around.
You have them switched around? Oh dear.
No, like nine switched around. I have like, on number 9, I have the 2 different sentences switched around.
Oh, all girls rarely get any work done and like to talk?
Yeah.
I thought you got 8 times, which I don't even think you got that wrong, but no. It was in a different order than the bottom there in the sentence itself. Number 10, you should put commas around holding a wet candle. I don't know why. 11. To return good for evil is your infinitive phrase. And circle to return is a subject. Number 12. To paint the exterior of our house is your phrase. To paint is a direct object. Circle to paint. 13. To live is Christ. To live is your infinitive subject. 14.
So what happens, what happens if we don't have a whole thing underlined, only if we have two circles? Oh, yeah.
That would be your point. 14. To require seatbelts is your phrase. To require is your infinitive, and it's in a positive. And then to ensure safety on the road, again, number 14 as well. To ensure circles in the direct object. 15. Put a comma after mirror, circle collection, and underline a collection of true stories about martyrs from the time of Christ to AD 1660.
I have a collection of true stories.
I just have a collection.
What happens if you don't have a comma?
Comma's a point.
Oh, no.
Mr. Kent, I just
The
have
whole
a collection.
phrase is a point. So it's a point for, half a point for the start and half a point for the end. And the positive itself is a point. So if you only have collection circled, Richard, you mind putting that thing on my desk so that you can pay full attention to class here?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how I
Put it on
took
the corner
that
of my
part.
desk there or something. That way you'll be able to keep your attention in one spot. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So you caught what I said? Ready to recording? Perfect. 16. Comma after Anabaptist and after Amish. And then underline ancestors of Mennonites and Amish, and ancestors get circled. 17. Circle Nero.
And so it's 15.
Do you need commas around it?
Hmm?
Don't you need commas around you? What happens if you have commas around it?
Want to read?
So,
Yes, sir?
yeah, collection of true stories. Why is collection, if you just circle collection?
Just circle collection, but you need to underline a collection of true stories about martyrs from the time of Christ, AD 1660. That's the whole positive phrase. So, you need that line is an underline, the circle, the line is a point, the circle is a point, and the comma is a point. 18. We is your subject, need is your verb, then you have direct object line, infinitive to paint. Direct object, that is exterior, D is under exterior and of our house. This is an additional phrase. 19, to worship is an infinitive, the subject line. In freedom is underneath, worship is as your verb, blessing is a correct nominative, truly is underneath is, and A is underneath blessing. 20, you should have children, masters, father, brethren, and servants, any word. 21, are. 22, someone and his. 23, several and their. 24, each and her. 25, everyone and his.
I didn't underline the antecedents.
Those are a point apiece. 26, A. 27, B. 28, quotations are on Amos, then before preacher to true, the end of that paragraph, then around do you think it is, with the question mark. Then I don't know, to find out, and then starts again, I forgot to tell you, and then to expensive. Good job on the spelling.
Dang.
This is not a good lesson. For how few points it is, I might have got that straight. This is a lot of points.
There's plenty.
Good. Oh, they're on there. You see the one that you start. Yeah.
spelling with the with the penmanship. So 1 wrong is 99, 2 is 98, 3 is 97, 4 is 96, 5 is 95, 6 is 94, 7 is 93, 8 is 92,
3.5.
97.
How many did you get wrong?
You good? All right, hand those in. Oh, do spelling. We'll do some spelling practice later. Nouns of direct address. What are those? Oh, I'm here. I'm in this quiz. I'm genius. I'm famous.
Is it actually Mr. Kent?
No, not Mr. Kent. But they have Kenton. Genius. I'm blessed.
Wasn't that other guy in
There was a Mr. Kent in one of
Lost it
them.
in here?
Oh yeah, his name's also Kent.
Is it Ken?
He's Kent. I'm Kenton.
Is that the only way?
You said he was offended at you over the phone because you made us call him Toby or something.
It was easier. I'm not sure he decided what he's called. Yeah, I'm also his brother-in-law, which is unfortunate for him. Yes, the 3 verbals. What are they?
Participle, gerund, infinitive.
Okay, Leah, what's an infinitive?
Infinitive.
How is it used?
It's a part of speech preceding a word too.
How is it used?
So now,
Right. Do you
yeah.
use it as a noun? It's a gerund.
It's, when he says noun, or subject, or noun,
A noun.
and it ends in I.
Yes. And what's the participle? Chris.
Huh?
What's the participle?
Third one is nine.
You're correct. Don't. Give my advice.
What would you give me if I did?
In 80%? No, or whatever grade it is. 70 or whatever.
I don't sound bad at all.
4.5 or whatever. That's all I'll give you. I'll
What
give
was
you an F.
that one's?
For English,
Yes, sir.
we must obey.
Have you ever had chicken pop?
Yes.
I don't think I ever had.
I don't know. I had skipped school over it, which I thought was pretty genius.
Chicken pop? You never had chicken
Not that I know.
Leper.
pop? You haven't had chicken pop?
Not that we know of.
Oh, I guess you wouldn't.
Oh, we didn't even check lesson 3 either. did
We
we?
had chicken. Me and Zachary both had.
Right, and nobody handed their book in either.
Oh,
Family
One thing you don't want is to get them as an adult.
I know, Bonnie said, Ryan's brother has chicken pox and he's
It's just highly inconvenient.
What did they do if you're an adult?
No, you just get much worse symptoms. They call it shingles, I think, instead of chickenpox once you.
Shingles?
Yeah. I think that's what they call it. They wind up getting like scaly skin and lasts for a long time. Just illness.
Not even.
All right.
Are we gonna check?
The 4 verbals. Huh? Yeah. Well, we'll check part of it.
It's really short lesson, part we just get it, part of it,
We skipped. Oh, we did. We skipped 11
and 21.
and 21. Or I said I gave you a choice on 21 or 22, I think.
You just said
Oh,
skip
did I skip
number
21?
21.
Okay.
We did 21.
All right, well, let's check it. Number 1, comma after testament. Number 2, comma after 9, an example. Number 3, comma after prophecy and after 3. Number 4, after 3 again and after addition. Number 5, after Nazareth. 6, after Isaiah and Isaiah. 7, after prophecies and opinion. 8, subject. 9, object preposition. And 10, object preposition. 12, indicative. 13, subjunctive. 14, imperative. 15, were, 16, be, 17, use, 18, although, 19, before, 20, after. 22, wearing is a gerund, uses a noun, use a subject. So we get wearing up here. And then sweater as a direct object of that. And underneath wearing we get to school as a prepositional phrase.
And
So,
And
oh yeah, and a under sweater.
I have two school under the wrong one. Wait,
Yes.
where does school go?
Under wearing.
Wearing to school, sweater to school.
Alright, verb is maybe. Necessary is a predicate. I guess. And then in the winter is under necessary. They also have in the winter under maybe possible. So if in the winter is under necessary or under maybe, count it right. 23, indirect object, 24, direct object, 25, direct nominative, 26, direct adjective, 27, objective complement, 28, quotations around Rip Van Winkle, quotations around put the books away, 30, around leave me to fire.
Remember 15, what was it?
Word. Word. Alright. Feel like you can find gerunds that has a problem on how they function. An objective complement comes where particularly?
After the direct object.
Right, I'm describing. You're also supposed to rewrite a paragraph revising it for a variety of sentence
Okay, what's
types.
her grade stuff?
Hmm?
What's her grade?
You need those?
Yeah, I need those.
Um. And those, yeah.
Do you count points off if you write your names off?
I have.
This year?
Yes.
No word.
It was somebody who knows.
Was it me?
Or maybe I just really seriously contemplated it. I know I took points off of something before for just the whole thing was generally messy.
Yeah, that would be me.
I didn't get punished
I remember
for
it.
missing him. I know I've never missed him.
I was just gonna write it
Those
in
are
that, sloppy.
No.
I could see it with my name. Did we skip it? Is it wrong?
If you
No.
skip it, if it becomes a habit, like if
But
it's just
if
a thing, if it's a thing that happens like every time, that's we have to take some corrective action. But just for one time, generally speaking, I don't do anything evil with it. So. Leah, did you go over about memory? Good. Write your spelling words one time.
What?
Write your spelling words one time.
That was a very delicious dinner. I'm trying to figure out how to diagram that. I'm pretty sure you would just go. When you go, a very delicious dinner that was.
What's your subject?
That. Actually.
Richard, write your spelling words.
Because dinner is renaming that. Thing, so that would be the subject and dinner and the credit wrong of that.
Okay, you can be quiet about your quiz.
Is that right?
You're not allowed to help. tomorrow you guys are gonna be running those single location marks. They just had a little, why they don't just line them up and then just let me just run the whole system together? I don't know. But yeah. The lecture's going in section 1. And then we'll get do some more work on board with them and then still want to do it tomorrow. The test is tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
The spelling test. Hey.
What?
Then it's it.
They were good.
Right, they were.
I'm sure.
This is gonna have to be in first person.
No, not this time. Yeah, there's just some good ones for the next section.
Like what?
Ignoramus.
What?
I've never heard that movie.
It's a noun.
That's
Surprisingly.
Ignoramus?
Ignoramus. Sounds more.
Well, it could be ignoramus, I suppose. Can I look that up? I have generally, I'm not sure ignoramus thinks what I've always
It's
said.
like on that game, the Joy Form, where you're just playing ignoramus. Or how do you say
What?
that? The Chinese checkers game. where
Oh,
you-
yeah, where you jump.
Yeah.
It is ignoramus. I said it wrong. Extremely ignorant person is the definition.
You want to be scared to make it the other way.
I just put mine in my book.
They look good, you can't read them, they do look good. Yeah, I found it.
Maybe did, maybe didn't. Okay. Now we'll move, right? Huddock? What's a huddock? What's a huddock? You know, I think that it doesn't really affect me. But when the A looks like a U, then I'm gonna call it a huddock and count it wrong.
It's supposed to be a name, but yeah. Can we go study about them?
What was about ooh, good spelling words. On the board.
You can have it. Have that red one. A red one.
Robert? I bet Chris stole my marker. If you want to find it.
Good.
All right. Let me see. This thing. All right. Richard, Hammock. I don't know why I started with Richard, because he usually doing that. Leah, you do ransack. Chris, you do rack. And you do bannock, Cody.
Let's see how.
Makes a lot easier.
Alright, the next one. Yeah, that's the next one.
Rack. That looks like crack. You want German on me? Can't say your W's, gotta say D. Try with a W.
Lots of those
All
days.
right, ransack. That'll work. Leah, Kimmick, Richard, Potluck, Chris, be quiet. And also chopstick and socket. Chai.
Yeah, see, it's right, like, look, that's
Finish writing that one. What? Okay, there you go.
you don't want that green.
Good.
That's not.
Placket, locket, wicket. I'm getting mixed up here. Matic. Really what it is next, yes.
Lock it. That's the door. Lock it.
That's not wrong, actually. A locket would be
You
different.
mean like lock it or a locket?
A locket.
Lock it, Richard.
Right. I did not see yours. Yes.
You didn't? Or everybody will?
Mattock is what we're,
Matt's
two T's, Mattock. Yours is
Here.
wicket here. Let's see it.
How you seen it?
No, I didn't. Right. Shamrock. Flashback.
You
Limerick.
have a flash in my head.
Limerick. And hummock. I still didn't see it.
Put it up there.
Well, it just keeps getting away from me before I look at it.
You see it that time? You better look.
I did see it. Just leave it up there till I tell you it's right.
Are we done?
Flashback. Limerick and hummock. Good. All right. Haddock. Cabot.
And haddock.
Padlock. Knick-knack.
Cat and haddock. Whoa.
Complicated system.
I like this one.
You do it.
I can't like this here.
I keep thinking of B.
You almost made it.
It is like inky.
A haddock is
Hey, fish.
Fish. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
You go like this.
knick-knack. Okay. Erase them.
Arrest them.
Erase them.
You just arrest them.
Disarrest them. Disarrest them.
That's the race ones.
Just arrest them. Yes, please.
Thanksgiving colors.
I noticed. They need to be erased anyway.
You need to erase. Draw a turkey.
Erase.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have
Dude, I'm already ready for Christmas though.
Hammock.
Me too.
Ransack. Bannock. Chopstick.
Not even into the phone mood. I hate
Do you?
it's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird. I second that.
Yeah, I
Thanksgiving
can
is
see
my
that.
worst
Yeah, I
holiday
see that.
ever. Well, that.
There's corn candy and I hate
Crap.
crap.
No, corn candy is
It's
gross. It's just
Round
a
candy is
way
good.
It's a
Give it.
cool idea.
Sunday.
Like, Randy was
It
very-
says
I
you're
know,
so
pretty
December
super.
is
Yeah.
Best.
Like, I'm ready to listen to the Christmas
You're
music.
nice to have all in November.
Thanksgiving is like probably the biggest holiday. But
Padlock.
that's not mean it isn't fun. I still
No,
like it.
hang on.
I have
You
three
guys are acting like
Even
it's
like
just
Potluck.
No, see, the thing
Alright.
is, it's
Pocket.
it wasn't almost
Matt.
all the grand
Mattock.
idea
Oh,
of
you just, you
all
took
the-
the, you took the inky one and you swirled it.
I know.
Why? All right,
I love September.
so Matic it is, and then Limerick.
October's fun.
You think that's bad, Richard?
Placket is.
I did it to one of our markers.
September's just kind of a cozy month.
Oh,
And October.
Placket.
It's like they needed to stick
Alright.
another
I did
holiday
that to one
in
of our
there.
markers.
November, I'm always
That's
just
enough.
anticipating December entirely.
Shush. It's enough talk about holidays and whatever that 15 minutes. Locket. Shamrock. Hummock. Haddock.
I like
Yes, it is. Shamrock.
My tea is the best.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever you find an inkless marker, you should definitely swirl it.
That way Mr. Pentland's out of ink markers.
Sure.
We're gonna be mad at Richard. All right, and flashback, paddock, padlock,
I'm getting scared, Mr. Ken's windy.
That's what Gideon does. Gets scared and it's windy.
Good job. Go back.
Yeah, when it's like really windy outside, I
No,
can't
I,
go out to brush my teeth without moving.
Thanksgiving was always our,
Just take them.
always tended to be our big family gathering out here.
Thanksgiving.
That's why we went hunting together.
Did you get gifts?
Massive piles of people, no.
Mr. Kent.
Do you get, does your family give gifts? Like, big family? Like,
Not really.
Mr. Kent.
Like our
Alright, we barely even do.
Our family,
You help
we
me
have
with this back
Christmas
together.
or Thanksgiving each year. Like we'll have
Oh,
Thanksgiving this year. That means the married ones have Christmas and Thanksgiving.
yeah, Christmas is usually the time we get together as like, yes, Christmas is a party. Except for when we have to get together tomorrow. Actually,
Not waiting until the turkey's gone.
With the shots, we usually get together over New Year's, and theirs is just completely random. Or else we
Just
don't.
somebody threw a dart at the calendar.
We haven't gotten together with mom's side of the family in like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, it's actually bad.
Yeah,
Oh, no, actually it was just recently that we were together, but like for a holiday, it's been a couple years.
It's your
Now that I
coffee.
think about it, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I can't put it back together now.
It's kind of that lukewarm stage. Yeah, carburetors take them apart, then what do you do with them?
Well, I got pretty much. I just can't figure out where this spring is supposed to fit into the mix.
right here, inside
Right
this
here,
thing.
somewhere in there. Yeah, I really have
Just
to
stick it in there.
Hopefully.
So I was trying to
Hopefully
think
it
out.
falls in the right place.
Whatever.
Okay, move straight out there. Dig all the way through my head to find the
I'm not
top.
sure. Yeah, because I know I came with that.
The spring bud is really good.
I'm actually really proud of what's hot air balloons.
Right there.
Christy, do you like my hot air balloon?
I don't know. Pretty sure that it was from. It's from somewhere in that contraption. This screw.
That I
also
would
goes
create,
right there.
cake stand. And a cake stand. And a cookie
This
stand.
goes like that? Maybe it goes
Yeah,
underneath.
right around that tall tower that no one knows.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There's something in it.
It's gone. That was the spring.
You could probably run without it. No, not that way. That away.
The spring, you just
gonna
have
go
to
with
put
it.
the handle.
I hope it's
So
the
it's
best.
possible to find another one.
Light helps usually. Yeah, shine the light sideways at it.
What's that solid little light happening?
What's
Put it on your desk.
They lift it up.
Yeah, sure.
Where did you have it? That diary? What diary? I don't think
Oh.
you
No, I hit my hand with a pull up.
Oh, that one, I think I did that.
It was a Cedar
Couldn't
Point.
go really far anywhere.
I'm enjoying
A
the
purple
shooting
one.
stars.
A purple one?
The purple one.
Doesn't really seem necessary though.
Honestly,
Somehow the guy's just not panicking.
your hot air
about it.
balloon.
Eiffel Tower.
No, well,
No, that's what it was supposed to be. It doesn't really.
I'll just put it together without it and it'll look fine from the top.
Perfect.
I actually really like that shooting star.
I wonder
I figured
if
out.
my
what
uncle
it
knew
is.
I would know where it goes. He has classes, little lawnmowers, like push
Well, yeah, you left that.
Made students take them
open.
apart and put them back
Huh?
together.
If I cared,
I
I'd
didn't
find
like
out, but I don't.
Yeah, no.
What is that one for?
No, I
It's
never
for
did.
that
That's
tree
from
that
a
we needed that
song.
we had in here.
It's not, I didn't make it up.
Yeah, if you were writing
Well,
that, I really wonder.
I really hate putting string in the meters, especially if it doesn't go in.
Richard thinks I'm a wacko.
I had quite a few.
Honestly, what else are you supposed to think when you read that?
It's just doodling, actually. For your info.
Halloween.
I'm kind of proud of this. But let's see, you draw a 100 one. You draw a 100 baby? How
the really good area of drawing extra.
I guess.
I think you're gonna have to lay on the ground and look.
What did you guess on?
Guess what?
Like, lost one thing about it.
And it doesn't help that.
I like my base color of the
The
floor.
weather, the colors, the pumpkin. Move your desk. It's just.
And the corn candy.
The colors something on the
And it centered around Trey's two favorite things.
Huh?
It centered around Trey's two favorite things, cooking and eating. In the world, I love food.
You know what is really good?
No.
I figured out the program is the 16th.
Yes.
I don't think I'll be able to stay.
16?
What?
Well, you're gonna have to plan on being able to see. What's going on?
Are you getting
Race is the
braces?
day before.
Oh, genius.
My genius.
No, you'll sure do.
That was just really smart.
Mom,
You
we
just
didn't
gotta
know what the
smile.
program was.
And,
Who you were.
you
I know. But it's just the top ones, so.
I wouldn't mind doing braces the day before.
I know.
I wasn't actually.
Unless it hurt, that's the only thing. If it doesn't hurt that, it might be okay.
No.
But if
The
it
motion is served.
well, goodies.
That's a one.
It's mixed together.
I already lost 2 pieces.
Oh, are we ready to eat?
Here, me. It's just the one that's not even, I don't know.
And a metal detector.
Yeah.
Find anything on this floor.
Yeah, it's a
Tech
it's
three,
specially
whatever.
engineered to cover up dirt, apparently. All right. Leah.
Dear God, thank you for this day, please bless us with your life and this day. And please with hostages and candy. Please, keep me safe.
Amen. Ladies.
Yeah, that reminds me of what Virginia said. She said they're adopted.